My name is Oswaldo Henriquez. My YouTube channel will be a platform in order to defend the Western civilization, the Judeo-Christian values, the capitalist system, in other words, the free market system, to defend the United States of America, and to defend Israel. In this YouTube channel, I will post many videos in defense of all these topics. Please support my channel. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Um, in this video, I'm going to talk about a recent interview that Piers Morgan had with a very particular anti-Semite, a particular anti-Semite British influencer. Um, Piers Morgan, who has become a British entertainer, loves to bring to his show the most unhinged, radical anti-Semites of the West. And the topic about that he's going to talk with this particular homosexual influencer, it was about the controversial of a chant that happened during a music festival in Great Britain. The person that Piers Morgan invited was this homosexual radical left British influencer Owen Jones. This influencer who hates a lot Israel and loves a lot the Palestinians. So during the interview, Piers Morgan wants to expose Owen Jones of his defenseless attitude and arguments in favor of this anti-Semite punk rapper singer, Bob Dylan. And there was a video that was recorded that was very well known, no, was very well known, where the singer, the anti-Semite rapper singer, was actually singing or chanting death to every single Israel soldier. So Owen Jones was exposed about his defenseless posture in favor of this anti-Semite rapper. Owen Jones, this homosexual, radical left influencer, these people, these anti-Semite Westerns influencers who are pro Hamas and pro Palestinians, they don't actually do this criticism against Israel for because they have a pathological obsession against Israel. Many of these people are doing because they are making money. It's a high probability that Owen Jones spends around 90% of his YouTube channel trash talking Israel. Ironically, if Owen Jones decided to go to live in the Middle East, of any of the Middle East countries like Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Israel, the safest place for him is Israel, especially Tel Aviv. If he decides to go to live in Beirut, one of the most liberal and progressive cities in the Arab world, if he claims openly to be a homosexual like he himself is, he will be beaten up in Beirut. Then he decides to go to live with his dear Palestinians in the Palestinian autonomy territories in Judea and Samaria, in Ramallah, in Nablus, in Hebron. He probably will be killed by the Palestinians because the Palestinians are very misogynist, chauvinistic, and homophobic society. And then he decides to go to Syria, in Damascus area. He will also be persecuted and probably killed. And then let's say that he decides to go to live in Amman, Jordan, the capital city of the Kingdom of Jordan. He will also face persecution for being a homosexual. So the safest place in the Middle East is Israel, the place that he hates most, ironically. Then during the interview, this pathetic gay British influencer start to sing his famous mantra songs that Israel is an apartheid society, that Israel is an apartheid country, that Israel is committing genocide, and all that nonsense that he repeats like a parrot every time that he's doing an interview or posting any video trash talking Israel. Let's debunk his lies. And they are very easy. I'm gonna want to talk a few examples about his accusation against Israel of being a genocide country and apartheid nation. For example, the genocide. Uh, you know that at the beginning of the war, Israel provided 100 incubators for the enemy's babies to Al Shifa Hospital, the famous Al Shifa Hospital. You know, when a country that is accused of being to try to commit genocide, the countries that are pursuing genocide don't do that. During the Second War, Adolf Hitler, before um, attacking the Soviet Union, he had a meeting with his generals. He said the war against the Soviet Union will be an annihilation war. We will destroy the Soviet Union. So during that time of the war, Nazi Germany didn't provide any kind of humanitarian assistance to the Soviet people. Actually, they were killing as many Soviet commissars that they found. They starved to death hundreds of thousands of Soviet soldiers in these concentration camps where the soldiers were kept when they surrendered, the Soviet soldiers surrendered. So when you have a country that wants to really genocide somebody, they don't do that Israel did at the beginning of the war. They provided incubators for the enemy babies. Then another example that Israel is not committing genocide. Israel during the war allowed a vaccination campaign in favor of the enemy's children. The same children that the pro-Palestinian people are accusing Israel of killing them. Huh? More than no, approximately more than 500,000 Palestinian children were vaccinated during the war that Israel allows to happen. And then you have the leaflets, the warnings that Israel is given to the Palestinian civilians in order to move to safest place when Israel tries to enter to combat zones. So these are three perfect examples that Israel is not committing genocide. You don't provide incubators to the babies that you want to kill. You don't allow vaccination campaign to the children that you are accused to being killing, and you don't warn your enemy civilians that you want to eliminate to move to safer places. The Nazi Germany, who actually wants to annihilate the Soviet Union, didn't do that. Actually, they killed 25 or 28 million Soviet citizens during the Second War. Now, the apartheid. The apartheid is also very simple to debunk. This homosexual, pathetic, weak British radical left influencer. Uh, in proper Israel, there are 13 Palestinian citizens of Israel who are members of the Israel parliament. 13. You will never see any black politician or black person be in the apartheid parliamentary system when the whites control South Africa. Never. So how you explain there are 13 Palestinian citizens of Israel? There are parliamentarians of the Israel Knesset. Huh? First, there is no apartheid in proper Israel. Now, people like Owen Jones, who are radical leftists, they conveniently don't want to talk about the Oslo Accords. The Oslo Accords, the one main reason of the Oslo Accords was to give the Palestinians self-governments and autonomy. And Judea and Samaria, the so-called West Bank, and Gaza. Remember, the Palestinians has a civil war in 2006 and 2007 that divide the Palestinian entity in two different states or so-called states. And in the Palestinian autonomous territories, there is no apartheid. How can you explain that Palestinians in the autonomous territories they have international passport documents? If you are an apartheid, you won't allow these people to have passports. But the Palestinians in Judea and Samaria and in Gaza also, they have Palestinian passports. Then how can you explain that Israel is an apartheid, particularly in the Palestinian autonomy territories in Judea and Samaria, if the Palestinians have a national Olympic team? Huh? If Israel is an apartheid, they shouldn't allow the Palestinians to have a national Olympic team. Actually, this Palestinian national Olympic team participated in the last Olympic Games that happened in Paris, France. Then another uh, example of that Israel is not an apartheid state in the autonomy territories in Judea and Samaria. The Palestinians also have a soccer national team. So Israel is a apartheid state that shouldn't allow the Palestinians autonomy territories in Judea and Samaria and Gaza to have a soccer national team that participates in the FIFA elimination games. So you see, I show you a, a few examples that these people, these anti-Semite Western influencers, who are not doing because they have a pathological obsession of hate of Israel, because they are doing also because they are making money out of it, and lying, spreading propaganda lies. So thank you very much for listening to this video. And don't be fooled by these people, and be rational and common sense every time you analyze the situation. Thank you very much, and have a nice evening.